Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 41. We are now in week 9 of commercial diving school. If you're new here, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed. So, for today, it was another diving day, the first diving day of this week, and I had the opportunity to dive twice. One thing was, first off, in the morning, we had to take a test on inland and coastal diving. So we just spent about 20 minutes in the morning, right after muster, taking that test. After that, we immediately got all of our hats and comms boxes, and we headed out to the dive station where we set everything up. And then I wasn't in the very first group of divers, but the second group of the morning, before lunch, I was in that group. So one thing about the weather today, it was extremely windy. It definitely felt like we were diving in a hurricane, but not, hurricane, type winds. It was just super duper windy, and I know there either is or was a hurricane around, the uh, western side of Florida. So, yeah, so I mean, it was definitely that the tide was like crazy high. It was even flooding like on the campus. It was nuts. Like, they said it was even crazier yesterday, but today I think it was, pretty crazy. But the water was a little bit colder than usual, definitely the coldest it's been. So I actually wore both the neoprene top and bottom along with my coveralls. And on the first dive, basically it was a contamination dive. So we were simulating that what we were diving in was contaminated, waters or whatever it may be. But the difference with that is we were basically, waiting on bottom, getting bottom time. I got about 48 minutes of bottom time on my first dive. As soon as you get out, you head over to a decontamination station or area, and it's basically we laid out a tarp, and then you stand in the middle of the tarp, and then someone hoses you down with a hose completely from top to bottom, kind of like you would, in the shower. Like, you start at the top, work your, way to the bottom, just so you get from the, because you wouldn't scrub or wash from the bottom, and then go to the top, obviously, because, gravity and everything. But anyways, after they're done hosing you down for the first time, one guy with like a scrub brush like scrubs you down. Obviously, it's not a real scenario today, but we simulated like it would be. And then they hose you down again, and then somebody else, scrubs you down, a different scrub brush, because you're obviously a little bit less contaminated, so they use like a new brush and everything. So that's kind of how that simulation would go for real life. But that was basically how the first dive went. And then fast forward to the evening. Some guys couldn't dive. I know one guy wasn't there, and the weather was pretty crazy. So I think everybody was like, I don't want to get in the water, because the weather. And what we were doing for the last half of the day was there's about 4 or 5 like really really large pipes. They're about that big around, and they're about, one was, I would say, like 15 feet long. One was 12 feet long, and they had flanges at the end. So if you don't know what a flange is, it's kind of like the connection of pipes, where you see two pipes joined, and around them they have holes where you can put bolts in, and you would have a gasket in the middle, and you would basically tighten that down so that it connects two pipes together. Anyways, that's kind of what the pipes look like. Like I said, 15 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet. They're all really fairly long pipes. Very heavy, especially even to lift underwater. They're very heavy. So 2 of them were right next to the chainfall. So on the dive station, we have kind of like a swinging arm, and then on the end of it, we had a chainfall, and then you lower the chainfall down to the pipe, and then you rig up like a lanyard or a sling, and then we would raise up the chainfall, bring that pipe up, and then take the chainfall off of that one, rig it to the second pipe, and then those pipes are good. For the other pipes, they were away from the chainfall, so we actually had to get a sling to go all the way down, like about 20 feet away from the chainfall, and rig it up to kind of like pull it over to the chainfall where the chainfall was. Um, and that's kind of where I came in to the mission. At that point, I got in the water, and basically there's a ton of rocks on that dive station, like on the bottom. I mean, they range from like itty bitty rocks to like 4 foot tall rocks. So I mean, you're just running into like huge rocks constantly, and you got to go around them. So it's definitely not the nice, flat, perfect, landscape that you would hope for, or oceanscape, or topography, if you know what those are. But, anyways, the pipe would basically slide along the bottom, and it would run into a rock. So I would lift it up so it would be clear, and then I would tell them, topside, have them keep pulling it, and then it would pull it over that rock. So did that a few times. I kept telling them to, pull it slowly, like pull it slow, like, pull it, but they were yanking on it, and there was this like, a couple 100-pound, 12-foot pipe like going like through the water. It was just like, it was pretty scary, but it was kind of like funny too, because this is the first time we really got to work with each other. So every single time you felt something, you felt like finger, and you felt something, and you hope you found fingers, and then you hope you found a hand, and then you hope you found an arm. You're just hoping that it was a human and not like some kind of manatee or creature or something down there. And someone again today said they felt a manatee. Like, I think 2 people said they felt a manatee, like something squishy, like that definitely wasn't a human, and it was big. And I'm like, come on, like, you really think a manatee is gonna be in that area, like during a storm and all that, when it's super crazy windy and all that stuff, and the currents like crazy. But anyways, yeah, so we managed to get the pipe drug this way, all the way to underneath where the chainfall is, but now it needs to swing around so that we can get, a sling on both points to raise it up. And it was my job to swing it around, but the problem down there is the visibility. I mean, it is nothing. Like, it is pitch black. Like, at moments you can't see anything. Like, literally, you put your hand on the glass of the hat, and you can't even see it. And then at other times it might clear up a little bit, so you might be able to see like this far in front of you, but that's as much as you get. So I was basically trying to swing this super large heavy pipe about 90 degrees, and I went over that. I took it like underneath the little dock that everybody was standing on. Instead of swinging it about 90 degrees, I probably swung it about 120 or 130 degrees. So yeah, I kind of took it too far. But then again, if you're swinging a huge pipe like that, when you can't even see, underwater, like, how are you gonna tell what's exactly 90 degrees? So definitely not the easiest thing to do underwater, but we finally got a sling rigged to both points, but one of the slings was too long. Like, one sling was like 8 feet, So it'd be like kind of awkward. You'd have this like really long like hypotenuse, and then you'd have like this really short lanyard that's only like 5 feet long. So it was just really ugly, and we actually didn't end up getting that section pulled up yet. So that's work for another day, as they say. I don't know who says that, but yeah, tomorrow we're kind of doing the same kind of thing. Maybe we'll get the rest of the pipes up, and then we'll put them all back. So yay, sounds like fun. But yeah, all together is a really great day. I'm really excited for tomorrow. So stay tuned for what I got for you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I got for this video. Like I said, stay tuned for tomorrow. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. I hope you guys have a great one. See you in the next one. Peace.